Alright, in today's video here, I'm going to be showing you guys how to flesh a muskrat. So actually, we just got done fleshing out our mink here. Videos will be coming out at separate times. But I figured I'd throw into this video kind of what I do after I get done scraping an animal. I do this every coon, after every coon, every beaver, everything. I do this. I get these blue rags. I get mine from Tyson's. They're relatively cheap. And I fold them in half. And I'm going to swab that all the way down my beam. That way, I can run it once that way. I can open up the other side, do it once that way, turn it inside out, and have two more. I essentially get 4 wipe downs with one rag. Really like these. They work really good. And they're cheap. That's what I like too. And then I don't have to do laundry or clean junk rags or constantly find new rags, anything like that. So I like just using those. Anyways, here's a muskrat. I'm going to be doing 2 muskrats for you guys here today. We'll be doing it on my fleshing beam. You guys can see I have a really flat fleshing beam. That way I put all the weight on my shoulders and my arms as far as pushing goes, and not on my back. And I'll be using a caribou fleshing knife. A necker fleshing knife will work just well. For a muskrat, you can use anything from a hog scraper, an old spoon, literally anything to flesh a muskrat that has a little bit of an edge on it, just to get these meat pockets and fat pockets off of them. They're fairly simple to flesh, probably the easiest animal to flesh that we have in Iowa anyways. So you can see I turned that muskrat inside out. We'll see if this one's going to fit on the beam. I'm not 100% sure if it will or not. I don't have a narrower beam. Okay, so we have this muskrat on our beam. And you can see where it gets kind of a darker red right here. That is the saddle. We do not want to remove that off of this muskrat. We want to leave that saddle on and just take any sort of meat pockets or fat, especially around the skirt of this muskrat. We want to take the fat off down there. And any meat or fat above this saddle we want to scrape down. So I'll kind of show you guys how we're going to do that. I'm going to start right behind the ears with the dull side of my fleshing knife. You do not need to use the sharp side of a fleshing knife on a muskrat. And we're just going to kind of peel what little bit is behind these ears down, taking any excess fat off of around the top of that saddle on this muskrat here. And you can see that cleaned that up really nice. Now I like to rotate it. I like to get the muskrat about halfway down, done, and then I'll go all the way around again and finish out the bottom part of the muskrat. So we'll get him on his side here. Here's his leg, right about center. Normally you'll have a little bit of meat here where the cheek of the rat would be. We're going to use our dull side. We're just going to take that off. I'm flattening out my knife as I go over that leg hole. You guys can see I'm running about a 45-degree angle on my knife. When I hit that leg, I'm flattening it out to go over it. Now you can see this fat pocket right here at the top of this red membrane, this saddle, that needs to go. We need to get that out of there in order for this muskrat to dry. So just like that, a couple strokes with the dull side, and that fat pocket is gone, and our saddle is still intact on our muskrat. So from there, we'll get that down to about the same level as the other one, the other side. And now we're going to rotate it again to the other side. And that should cover all our bases on the top half of this muskrat. Again, a little bit of cheek meat here. Hopefully you guys can see that right here. Get a little bit of cheek meat. I'm actually going to turn the camera just a touch here. There we go. A little bit of cheek meat here. So again, we're going to take our dull side, get that off. You can use a spoon, a scraper, anything to do that. It comes off really easily. We're going to go over that leg, hit that fat pocket right there, just like so. And now the top half of this muskrat is done. I'm going to pull him up to about halfway. Normally along the sides of the belly here, you can see it right in here. There'll be a little bit of fat on there on top of your saddle. That little bit of fat needs to come off there. You just scrape it down and off the edge, make sure the edge is all cleaned up, there's no fat hanging off there. And then we're going to rotate. Now this is where the tail was, right here. There's actually not a whole lot of fat here. We're just gonna hit the edges a couple times, make sure they're clean. We're gonna rotate. Again, we're at the side of the belly again. Fat pocket. We gotta get that off the top of that saddle. That fat will not dry. It will actually cause rot and slippage if you do not remove that. So we got that fat pocket off there. Now we get to, this is the belly side base of the tail. So we're just gonna scrape this on down. And then you're gonna come, I believe it's the vent hole or the penis bone. It depends what, what sex of muskrat you have. But you just gotta be careful around that hole, but make sure you get all the fat around that off of there. And there's a little bit of red membrane that comes off of that on male muskrats like this one. You're just gonna scrape that off. Hit that again. And there we go. Our muskrat is scraped. So I'm gonna set him over here and we'll do another one quick. They're really, really simple to do, guys. Again, I don't know a whole lot of trappers that would make an argument with muskrats are the easiest thing to scrape. They are so simple. We'll just get this, hopefully he'll fit on here. Actually just ripped a little bit of meat off of there. That's how easy that stuff comes off, guys. I just ripped it off with my hand. So we're gonna get this flushed up, clean up around the head there, get that down. Now you can see that pelt starting to roll because my beam is too wide. You do not want to keep pushing if that is rolling. You want this pelt flat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate, or you could pull it up and snug it up and get it tight and keep fleshing it down. I like to hit it all, like I said earlier, I like to hit it all on the top half first and then rotate down to the bottom half. So anyways, we'll take this cheek meat off of here. We'll hit that little patch under the arm there, removing any excess meat or fat. Pelt's starting to roll, so we will stop there. We will rotate again. Get it over to this other side. Hit that cheek meat. Get all that off of there. Cleaned up. Just like that. You guys can see I'm applying, I mean my fingers aren't even hardly touching this knife. It takes such little pressure to do. I would definitely recommend doing some muskrats for some beginner for handling. Very easy. So you can see now, moved it halfway up again. We're just gonna keep scraping down. You know, that fat pocket that's on the side of the belly there, we just removed that. Now we're gonna rotate over. We're gonna hit the back. Got a little chunk of meat up here I need to get off of there. Scrape the fat off the end of where the tail was there. Like so. Rotate again. Side of our belly. Get that off of there. Very easy. I'm actually still going about half speed here. They're that easy to do. So now again, we get to the bottom of the base of the tail. Just gonna be careful around that hole there. We're gonna finish this off by getting the rest of that membrane and fat off of there. And again, guys, leaving the saddle on these muskrats. Most fur buyers want to see that red saddle on that muskrat. But remove all fat or anything that's on the outside of that muskrat. So anyways, now we will get it set up. We'll be putting these muskrats on a wire stretcher and then we'll hang them up to dry. All right, now we will be putting our muskrats on a stretcher. This is a wire muskrat stretcher. You can see it's got 2 hooks on it. We're going to be essentially putting our muskrat pelt on this to dry it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our muskrat like so, and that little tab that we got that is the base of the tail, we're going to just pull that over our stretcher, just like so. Feed that muskrat on there all the way up to the nose. Make sure he's pulled tight on there, that way you get a good size for your muskrat. Alright, so now you can see I've left this tab for the base of the tail on this muskrat. Very simple step here. We're just going to take this hook. I like to use the middle one so my rats are centered, and we're going to spear that through the base of that, just like that. Just puts a small little bit of hole there to hold that muskrat down. We're going to do the same thing on the belly side. You can see this muskrat had a bite mark there. We're going to just spear that through. You want to be careful not to pull this one too hard so you don't rip it. That belly fur is a lot thinner. But there we go, guys. There is our muskrat on a stretcher. So this will be hung up, left to dry. Usually takes about 2 to 3 days for a muskrat to dry. In ideal conditions, anywhere from 45 to 55, 60 degrees. Get a fan on them, they dry out pretty good. Nice looking muskrat there. We'll do one more here quick, kind of real-time speed. Take our muskrat. I believe this is the bigger one of the two, if I remember. I am not 100% sure. I'm going to feed him over, get his nose snugged up to the top there. Pull this down. You can literally have these boarded in, or not boarded, but on the stretcher in under 30 seconds typically. Put that on there like that. Get that grass off of him. And there we go. 2 rats on the stretchers. So anyways, guys, I hope these videos were helpful here. Trying to do some more fur handling videos here, get everyone pumped up for the season. So anyways, hopefully someone learned something from that there. Just kind of my way of fleshing and stretching a muskrat. Works really good. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time.